Ah, yes. Hello, my friends. It's time that we do Bitmex for Beginners 2.0 redone. Because my first Bitmex for Beginners video draws a little bit of flack because it's missing some information, and even when I post certain things in the description, it's not getting the point across. So this is the true most important things you need to know. If you are brand new to Bitmex, just opened it up, let's get into it. First things first, I want to talk about how to make the right kind of trade, or enter, or short, or long, by avoiding the fees. If you use market to place your trades, you are going to pay the most in fees. If you just use limit, you pay a little less. If you are using post only, you pay the least. You can get paid in fees even. So, let me go ahead and open a trade, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's go ahead and say we want to open a short on Bitcoin. We're going to go into the limit tab. We'll just do $1,000. Let's say we go with 10x leverage. You really shouldn't do anything more than that if you're brand new, because you can get spanked. Now, in order to dodge these fees, you want to be what's called a market maker, not a market taker. So what does that mean? A market maker is someone who posts a bid on the book, whether it's on the sell side or the buy side. A taker is someone who, let's just say, I click this and I hit buy. I buy from the other side of the book. So there's incentive to being a market maker because you are creating the market by putting an order on there for someone else to take from you. So we want to be market makers, not takers, not takers. Let's go ahead and say I want to short. We're going to click this number right here, 6463, and it pops up right here. Things to look out for. Dear God, whatever you do, don't click this number in size, or else, boom, it'll pop up right here. And if you have the money available in your account, it'll put it in there, and then you're going to flop and grope and freak out, okay? First thing to look out for. So let's go ahead and say we want to short at 64.63. Boom, I got my leverage right. I got post only clicked. Let's go ahead and click sell short. Bang. Now, this number's in yellow because that is where my order is. And right now, down here, you see we have no positions yet. We have an active order to be a market maker for $1,000 to short Bitcoin. Now, let me go ahead and cancel this. I'm going to click this cancel button. And let's see. It has to be from this number or above if you're putting on the sell side in order to use the post only effectively. Boom. Now let's see if that order gets taken. Now let me show you something else. You might have a problem of your trade not going through if you make this one mistake. Let's say if I'm trying to put in a short and I click this number and I got post only selected and I click sell short, it won't work. See, it says submitted, boom, canceled, because we are not being a market maker. That would be being a taker. Now, when this order fills, you'll see I have $1,000 sell. In order to exit that trade of a short, I'm actually going to have to buy. And then I would put post only and then click buy, boom. Now that would equal out this trade, okay? Boom, so that contract got filled actually, so we actually just entered along at $1,000 at 64.59. which I certainly don't want to do in this market. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here to see if the 64.60 gets taken. Then my trade will be exited, and then that's that. All right, let's talk about what all this stuff means. Number one, your entry price is your entry price. That's where you got in the market. The liquidation price is where your trade gets screwed. Not the available balance, but the amount that you have in the trade. If you hit this liquidation price, your money's gone. Here's your margin. Mark price. The mark price is an average of what the market really is. So if there's a huge spike, let's say right now it pumps $50 in 1 minute, the mark price is going to take time to catch up because it has to average with other exchanges. So that's supposed to help prevent, quote unquote, stop losses from just being like instantly triggered, right? If there's a quick pump and it goes right back down. So mark price is like the average of a certain time over the past market. Now, unrealized and realized P&L, this is important. When you hover your mouse, it changes. When it's not hovered, I believe it's based off of the mark price. Boom. Okay, boom. So we actually just executed a little trade, and we probably made a tiny bit of profit. Tiny little bit. Let me go ahead and enter another trade here so we can see. Boom. So let's see this puppy get filled. So I can see this darn order value. Now let's say the market's going crazy. You don't care about paying fees. All right, boom. All right, well, we'll come back to that later. Okay. So your unrealized P&L is your profit or loss in the current trade. Okay. So for example, this $1,000 short, we got in at 64.62. The market right now is 64. Well, now it's 62. So boom, we're at 0. Now your realized P&L is how much you've made or lost with like all your trades, excluding this trade. Okay. So you see that last trade actually made us 0.0001 Bitcoin. Congratulations. Now let's say if the market's going crazy, I got in a bad trade. I don't want to do post only. I just want to get out immediately. So we shorted at 1,000. So what that means, in order to exit this trade, we need to buy 1,000. So let's be a market taker this time. So since we're going to buy Bitcoin, we're going to buy it from the sell book. So I'm going to click 64.67. Boom. Buy. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom. It's done. Trade's exited for a loss. Couple quick pointers. Let's see here. Use Heiken Ashi candles. I find them to be, these are the candles you start out with. Look how terrible this is. How emotional it is. You see the green, the red, the green and red. What the hell's going on? When you switch to Heiken Ashi, it's much easier to read when it's going up, when it's going down. If you're going to use the 5-minute, the 3-minute, the 1-minute, the 15-minute, if you are a beginner, let's pretend you're an assassin. If you're training to be an assassin, the first weapon you learn how to use is the sniper rifle, because you're farthest away from your target. You have a greater vision of everything around in your environment. So if you're new to trading in general, not just Bitmex, the best thing to do is to start out with a higher vision. The last form of combat that an assassin learns is hand-to-hand combat in the knife. So as you get more experienced, you can start zooming in. Now let's say if you're zoomed in on the 3-minute and you don't know what the hell is going to happen next and you want to enter a trade, zoom out. Zoom out to get a better picture on the market. Okay? What else is there? Let's talk about a couple patterns, right? Let me give you 2 patterns that you can trade successfully with. And in our Discord group, you'll see that we are knocking these patterns nonstop. We're having a great time doing it. There's one pattern in particular that we love here on this channel because we created it. Let's see if we can find it. Boom, here it is. Last night, folks, we witnessed what we call the Chinese Ching Chong pattern. And I have videos on the Ching Chong that you can absolutely look at. The Ching Chong is a real thing. Real thing. And what that is there's 4 bumps and then it dumps. So we go Chinese Ching Chong. And then it goes down. Now, this is on the 3-minute mark. So I'm not expecting a 3-minute Chinese Ching Chong to go down. So here's from 63.56 down to 6,300. So a $50 movement. This is a 3-minute Ching Chong. The lower the time, the weaker it is. So if this was on the 1 minute, we'll stick with it. So on the 3-minute, expect it to break down in a 3-minute type of difference. If we were on the 15-minute, if it was a 15-minute Chong, then you're talking about the price maybe going down $100, right? Or maybe even more. So that's the first pattern. The second pattern is a head and shoulders type, and I'm going to have to go back and try to find this, but it's on one of my videos I've done already. And what happens is it'll make a head and shoulders, and then it'll have a fake out arm that increases in price. Look, there's the Chong. Let's see if we can go back. Look, here's the head and shoulders. 3-minute head and shoulders. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then boom, it tanks. So look for your head and shoulders. Now, a lot of times these head and shoulders will have an arm that actually comes up. In fact, I find that there are more head and shoulders that fake everyone out and then go down than just go tap, tap, and then go right down. So look for head and shoulders. Look for Chinese Chongs. Feel free to join our Discord group. Look at these positions. We've been knocking the shit out of it. If you private message me and I don't answer, don't feel bad. I don't answer anyone. Sometimes I do, depending on the mood. What else? Yes, let's talk about stops. Let's talk about stop. Let me show you how to make a stop loss or a stop profit. Let's go ahead and enter a trade post only. We are going to enter a short. Look, we have a potential Ching Chong forming. Typically, we need a third hump in order to confirm. So let's go ahead and put a short in. I'll put a short in at 64, 69. Let's do it. Let's up the ante a little bit. We'll go ahead and go with 10 grand. See if that order gets taken. Now, let's say I want to set a stop loss. So what we're going to do is click Stop Market. If you don't already have it in there. Stop Market. And my amount is 10 grand, so I'll go ahead and put in 10 grand if that's what I want to do. Stop price. All right, so this is the price you want it to stop at. So let's say if we go up to 65.24, that's where I want it to exit. So I'm going to put 65.24. Now, since we are shorting, what that means is in order to exit the trade, we have to buy. So we're going to set the buy stop. Bang. So right now I don't have any actual positions up, so this is why it's saying it'll increase my position. Boom. Now if you go to stops, you'll see that it's there chilling. You can move it right here to amend the price and change the price if that's easier for you. If you're a visual type of person, I do it all the time. Or you can also change all of your settings here, right? So if I want to change this to 5 grand, I can change it to 5 grand. Hit the check mark. Boom. Stop price, you can change that here. You can change things in a couple different places. Now you will pay the fees. You'll pay the fees. And stop losses can be a little funky, I'll tell you. They can be a little funky in crypto. You really got to be careful because they'll ruin your chance of profits if you use them incorrectly. I'll tell you what I really like using stop. I like using stop profit. So let's say I'm positive in a trade. Let's pretend that I shorted up here and now it's down here. What I can do is place a stop loss or stop profit right below here. So if it goes back up, bing, I know that I'll exit the trade still with good profit to keep myself safe. So you can use it for a stop loss or for a stop profit. I think that's it. So, happy trading. Welcome to the belly of the beast that is called Bitmex. If you are new, feel free to join the Discord. If you have questions, try asking general chat first, although be careful of the answers you hear. And don't be offended if I don't respond to any of your messages. You're not alone. So, there's Bitmex for beginners. Go kick some ass. Use the hike and the she. Look out for Chinese chongs. Look out for head and shoulders. Look for solid tops and solid bottoms to swing trade. That's really where your money's at. Is when there's a solid top and a solid bottom. You might even say there's kind of one right now. Right now we're in that bear market. Find a solid top, solid bottom, and then hit it, swing it. If there's a triangle forming and you're coming to the end of the trend, the trades are going to start getting riskier. The trades will be riskier at the end of a trend. So Bitmex is all about finding windows of opportunity, getting in, hitting your buys, hitting your sells. When the window's closing, get out unless you want to make a risky trade if it's going to break up or going to break down. Let's go kick some ass.